All right. Welcome everyone to today's live event. Today's live event, we are going to go over some of Jonard Tools' cable testers, specifically the PT-300 pocket continuity tester, commonly referred to as a pocket toner, our CM-8 and CM-17 cable mappers, our MCT-468 network cable tester, and our HDMI-100 HDMI cable tester. Before I get going, first let me introduce myself. My name is Ed Sorbona. I'm the Senior Director of Engineering at Jonard Tools, and with me today I have Mike Baptiste, who's running this whole production, and I have Bridget Costigan, who is our product manager, okay? A little house cleaning. Before I get started, please take a moment to like our Facebook page and go to jonard.com/live to enter a contest to win a CM-8 cable mapper. So with that, let me get started. So the first product I want to talk about today is our PT-300 pocket continuity tester. Pretty straightforward. It's a continuity tester, but it has some features in it I do want to point out. Okay, first it has a little pocket clip so that you can clip it and hold it in your pocket so you always know where it is. Second, when you disconnect the piezo buzzer or speaker, as many people refer to it as, I want you to know that there is a switch. Mike, I'm going to put it over here. You want to switch over so that people can see the switch on the inside? Put it down. More? Yep, I see it now. There we go. Okay, right in the center there. There we go. Right in the center there, there's a white, little white switch. Okay, that will turn the unit off when the speaker is put back in so it doesn't constantly drain the battery. This is a big advantage over many other tools out there because they don't have a switch, and over time the circuit's always running and it drains the battery. It does a deep drain on the battery and the battery ends up swelling and leaking its fluid. And then you can't get the battery out and the tool ends up being useless. Okay, so I want to point that out. Next is, quickly, we get asked this a lot, so I want to show it to you, is the battery. You just unscrew the head to get the battery out. The battery comes out, put it back in, and it's put the button side up, so the positive side of the battery is up. And screw it together here. Let me take it. I always do a quick test. Just use the speaker, connect it to itself, make sure the battery is good. Okay. Lastly, it comes with a little F81 barrel assembly. So just doing a quick test here. I'm going to connect it up to this cable I have here. And I'm going to connect the other side. And it's telling me the cable is good. So, a couple of things. If there was a short circuit in the cable, okay, the LED would light, but the buzzer wouldn't light. If it's an open circuit, nothing would happen. It would be dead. And for a point of reference, this cannot go through splitters. There may be some DC pass splitters out there. It would go through that, but the majority of splitters, this will not go through because they don't pass DC, and that's what this is. So that's something to be aware of. Lastly, both the unit and speaker have voltage protection built into them. This is so that if a cable has some lower voltage on it, and when I say lower, I mean below 52 volts DC on it, the tool, the unit and the speaker are protected. Anything above that will damage it. So I just want to make you aware of that. Okay, so that is the PT-300. Next, is our CM8 cable mapper. So this cable mapper comes with the unit, 8 identifiers, and it has a couple of clips that will allow you to adapt up and actually work on cable and map out cable that is not terminated or is not coax cable. So you can use it for speaker wires, or you could probably even use it for network wire, anything that you can connect the alligator clips up to. So pretty simple and straightforward. Again, I'll take out my little cable here, connect it up, get my adapter, hook it up to the cable here, and this identifier is number 1 on it. I'm just going to simply press the button here, and you see, can you see it? How's that? Can they see it, Mike? Perfect, good. Okay, so I'm going to describe some of the features from this view. Okay, so there we go. So it's number 1. So what this does, it allows you to map out a home. So you put number 1 in the kitchen, number 2 in a living room, number 3 in a master bedroom, and so on. And you go to where all the cables are terminated, and you can just sit there and start cycling through each one, testing it individually, okay, to map out which cable is which, because usually cables aren't identified. Now, on the front here, there are some other LED lights I'd like to describe. Take this off. So first one is open. So this is telling you that there's an open circuit because it's not connected to anything. Okay, when you press it, there's a little light over here that flashes, and it's just telling you, I'm doing a test. Okay, I'm completed doing a test. There's also a short button. So if it detects a short, it's going to tell you that. If you press and hold the button here 3 seconds or so, tone light emits. This is emitting a tone right now and allow you to take your average probe from a tone and probe set and trace that cable. So for us, our TEP-200 is a perfect tool to use with this. Lastly, there is another LED over here which will indicate if there's a voltage on the cable. And it will also indicate when the battery is low. This uses 2 CR2032 cell type batteries. So just want you, and they're replaceable. Just unscrew the 2 screws in the back. So I just wanted to point that out. Okay, so that's a CM8. The CM17 is pretty much the same thing, only we've added these RJ45 adapters. Here, let me jump over here so everybody can see it. We've added these RJ45 adapters so that you can actually map out a network cable, this is a great advantage because while many people do mark the cable, some don't, and especially in earlier days, many people did not mark the cable, so it's guesswork. So this would help eliminate that guesswork. It comes with adapters here, so you literally are screwing in one of the identifiers from the mapper right onto the other side. The FA1 barrels come right out, or you screw it right in and allow you to go right through and map everything. So that's the CM17. Moviing on to the next product here. We have the MCT-468 modular cable tester. Okay, so what this does is it'll test an individual network cable for you, making sure you've wired it correctly, identify if there's an open or a short in it. So I happen to have 2 cables here with me. One is good, one is bad, so I'm going to hook one up. And yeah, I'll bring it over here, Mike. And we're just gonna turn it on and watch it cycle through. You can see it cycling through, doing complete test. The cable's good. The G, which for ground or shield, there's none on this cable, so it's left blank. Okay. There's another position on the switch here called S. That's to slow the rate at which it tests down, so you can look at it a little more closely, because usually this will be in one room, the remote will be in one room, you'll be in another. So the first thing you want to do is check what's going on here. As you can see, they're all lighting up. That's a good sign. Then you go to the remote, make sure they all light up. If there was an open on this, none of the lights would illuminate. And if it was a short, okay, if it was a short, both will illuminate and stay illuminated. So that's how that one works. That's the MCT-468. Oh, let me show you a bad cable just to show you. This one's completely miswired. So I just want to show it to you. That good? Yep. There we go. Okay. So you can see how none of the numbers matching up. It can't find it. Can you bring it down? Yep. Bring it down a little bit more. There we go. So you can see it going through a whole process here. And it's telling you, wow, this cable's not wired well. Okay. So that is the MCT-468. And lastly, I have our HDMI-100. And it's it's very similar to the MCT-468 in that it has a main unit and a remote, or a transmitter and receiver. Okay. And it has connections for HDMI and HDMI mini. So the first cable I have here, we will connect up both HDMI. There we go. I'm going to press it here. And what it's doing, it's scanning each pin on the HDMI cable. This can take a little bit, and if you're in a rush or you got several tests to do, press the button again, and it's doing immediate complete scan. As you can see, all the LEDs are lit. This cable is good. So I'll show you a bad cable. So we know this is a bad cable. Looks like a squirrel got to it, chewed it all apart. I'll connect this up. There we go. I'm as low as I can get it, Mike. Okay. So you can see it's missed. There you go. It's missed some more. Come back in. All right. So that is the HDMI-100. And these are our network and HDMI and coax cable testers. So at this point, I would like to open up the floor for any questions that anyone may have. Bridget, anything coming my way? Does the TEP200 tracing probe work with this toner? As a matter of fact, it does, and I mentioned that earlier. When you say this toner, that is the toner in the CM8 and CM17. Would the CM8, another question, which is, would the CM8 tone out cables if they are connected to a splitter? I also mentioned that in my discussion that if the splitter passes DC, it would. If it doesn't, no way. On the CM8, will a splitter show up as an open or a short? That is a good question. A splitter will show up as an open circuit in most cases. Okay, question on the MCT 468. Is there an indicator for when the battery needs to be replaced? On the MCT 468 and on the HDMI 100, there is no indication for when the battery needs to be replaced. Basically, it just won't cycle anymore. Okay, any other questions? It doesn't look like we have any more questions. So at this point, one more time, I'd like to remind you to like our Facebook page and go to jonard.com/live to enter our contest to win a CM8. And at this point, I want to say thank you everyone for tuning in, and please stay safe and be well. Thank you.